Hello everyone, hello fellow writers. Welcome back to my channel. So I've been editing my contemporary fantasy novel and it's been going pretty good, getting through the chapters, but I realized these chapters are really long. I usually like to have around 2,000 words, but lately they've been going upwards to 4,000. But I'm just allowing the words to flow, and then I'll go back and cut out what needs to be cut out. And honestly, editing is not as bad as it used to be. Like, I don't hate it as much. I think years ago, in earlier drafts, when I didn't really have the story down, I didn't really want to edit as much as I just wanted to like restart everything. But now it's like I'm refining it. Even though I am adding scenes or adding certain things, it feels more like editing, I guess, with a splash of that like first draft writing feels than I'm just in that editing phase, you know? And I think that's a good thing. I don't know if it's like writing maturity or what. I'm okay with it. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm kind of bored with doing the same routine. So I'm gonna do like writing sprints, but for 3 different stories. I'm gonna do the mystery thriller, the contemporary fantasy one, and another short story that I wrote like a very long time ago. I'm gonna give myself like 15 minutes each for those 3 things and kind of see how it goes. I don't know. I'm just trying to do something different today. I like that line. That's really interesting. I like that. Okay. Well, I was like a minute late. 12:27 I think was the time I was supposed to stop. But I'm like, I need to finish this thought, which I will, and then I'm gonna move on. But it was slow starting, and then momentum came later, which is why I ended late. So let's continue. Okay, starting the mystery thriller now. I stopped at the 50 and I just turned 12:51. The character is leaving the diner and going home. I was just thinking, what month are they in? What is the season? But I figured out that it's probably around the same time as now, like May or June. No, I think May, because she's gonna help with like a school project for someone, like an end of the year project. So it can't be June or July, and it's definitely not during the fall, so I figured that out. Anyways, now off to the short story. Okay, about a minute late. This was great, y'all. I'm really glad I did this. Okay, so I decided to bring back a scene from draft 4 because I kind of feel like it's more fitting. I took it out because I didn't think it was important to have, but I feel like the characters, this is like them confronting, this is the overseer confronting the kids, and I just feel like this makes more sense for them to like, oh, we need to check this thing out. And also, it's kind of like an element of surprise because the kids aren't gonna expect it. So I'm like, ooh, that would be really good. So I'm gonna bring that back and see how it works. Yeah, so I'm gonna bring back another scene, that scene, but then I just realized in this plot, the overseer is going to try to get close the two groups, I kind of have them like very wary of each other and kind of far away and trying to like make plans of like, hey, how do we figure all these things out about this lost kingdom, and what is this power that we have. We're trying to understand it separately. That's what we did before. But now I'm thinking, what if there's a lot more interaction between the two groups? I feel like that would be really cool. That's like to add into the story. This is the amazing thing about editing, that I can see from a bird's eye view what works and what doesn't, and like with fixing the narrative, I can easily reorganize chapters to fit the new plot. Y'all, I haven't been on here for a while, but I've been doing a lot of writing. I don't really know what chapter I'm on. I just feel like I'm giving away too much information at once about different things. There's like or 3 different topics, and I'm kind of going really hard talking about 2 of them, and I feel like that's not realistic, and it just would be too much, like an overload. So I'm thinking of kind of splitting up the characters, talking about those certain things, and so that's why I'm going back into the chapter and keeping those, I think, maybe 3 chapters focused on like the powers, and then the other chapter focused on another character and like the search for another character, because I was kind of mixing them together, putting them together, but it's too much, and I think it will be really confusing, and that's not what we want. I've realized, like with writing, like when I read certain novels, you can see how even when different subplots are kind of intertwined, the author still manages to kind of go down one road at a time. And so that's basically what I'm trying to do. Trying to go one road at a time and give information little by little instead of like a huge overload in one chapter. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, I've been like sort of procrastinating, but not really. I'm just taking much longer on the scene. So the kids are like at a clinic, and I've been so focused on everything that they're seeing in the clinic and like adding extra stuff that I'm not even at the part that I need to get to. It kind of feels like I'm procrastinating by writing other scenes or mini scenes. I don't know, describing too many things. But this chapter so far is not even 2,000 words, so it's not as bad as I think it is. It's just taking me a longer time to get there, which is fine. Don't need to rush a scene, right? But I finally made it. Now I'm gonna try to close it out and see. It is 11:32 right now. And I want to go to sleep, but I'm so close to finishing the kids' perspective at this other hospital that they're visiting. And most of it is written. This is basically an old scene that I've written that I'm fixing up too, so it's not much I have to fix, but it's just I'm hungry and tired. Okay, I'm done. 11:52, I finished the chapter. It's kind of short, but I might just move some from the previous chapter into that one. But I'm gonna go eat now. I've really been enjoying Of Jade and Dragons by Amber Chen. Like, I've been reading it so much. I've been engrossed in the story, and when I'm not reading, I can't wait to like get back into that world. It's just, she just built such a rich world that I didn't want to leave, and the ending was just so unfair to me. So I definitely recommend it to y'all. I just have to say, doing like voice recording, or not voice recording, but like speech to text for writing really changes things up. I feel like when I sit down to type or to write, sometimes my brain kind of filters some things, or I can't come up with like good sentences, or especially when I'm trying to get into the character's mind and how they feel and getting that down. When I speak, like say it out loud, everything just flows so well. I understand the character, and the character like really comes out. I don't know what it is. I guess maybe less of a filter, less of an inner editor, inner critic. But if I sat down to type, the things that I'm saying wouldn't have come out. Like, I would have written down something completely different. It's just a lot more immersive, I guess. Especially because I struggle with adding in more descriptions, not just of setting, but describing what the character thinks about these things and how they feel about it and what their thoughts are, in a sense. I find that it's so much easier when I'm like doing speech to text, and I need to do that more. But it's just, I don't know, I love the act of typing. The act of like writing. And sometimes speech to text, like speaking it out loud, I just get a little too melodramatic. Like, it just gets a little too dramatic or cringe, and then I'm like, yeah, I don't need that. Like, that's why I gotta sit down and write instead of speaking. But I get through the chapters quicker doing the speech to text. I'm gonna continue now. I've written so much. Try it.